Hey everyone, welcome back. Today, we're opening up the writer's toolbox to discover some of the techniques authors use to bring their writing to life. These are the tools that create vivid images, powerful emotions, and unforgettable stories. Today, we're going to look at three of the absolute biggest literary devices: symbolism, imagery, and foreshadowing. There are tons of others, of course, but these three are the foundation. Yeah, think of these literary devices as the secret weapons in an author's arsenal. They're what let them build these worlds you can get lost in, add all these hidden layers of meaning, and kind of steer your emotions without even noticing. It's pretty clever stuff. So let's grab the first tool from the box. All right, first up, symbolism. This one is all about making a small thing stand for a huge idea. So, what is it really? A symbol is just an object, an image, anything really that stands for something else. It's got its normal everyday meaning, sure, but in the story, it takes on this whole other layer of significance. And what's so cool about this is how naturally we understand it, right? We see a dove and our brain immediately thinks of peace. We see a broken mirror and we get that little feeling of, uh-oh, bad luck. Writers know we already have these connections, so they use them to communicate big, complex ideas without having to explain everything. Okay, let's look at maybe one of the most famous symbols in all of literature. If you've read The Great Gatsby, you know exactly what this is. And boom, this is a perfect example of how one little object can hold the weight of a whole story. That green light, it's not just a light bulb at the end of a dock. No way, it's hope. It's the past he can't get back. It's this future he can never quite reach. It's the whole complicated, messy idea of the American dream, all wrapped up in one little glimmer of light. Now that is the power of symbolism. All right, let's move on to tool number 2, imagery. And this is where the author becomes an artist, painting pictures with words, but not just for your eyes, for all your senses. So don't just think about what you can see. Imagery is about what you can hear, smell, taste, and feel too. It's one of the writer's most powerful tools for helping you imagine that you're right there in the middle of the story. Check out this opening line from 1984. Just listen. It was a bright, cold day in April. Okay, bright and cold. You can feel that weird clash, right? And the clocks were striking 13. Wait, what? 13? That's just wrong. And just like that, in one single sentence, Orwell has set the entire mood. He's used imagery to tell us everything we need to know. This world is bleak, it's unsettling, it's unnatural. We can immediately know that something is deeply wrong here, and we haven't even met a single character yet. It's brilliant. Okay, our third and final tool for today is the art of the hint. It's that little whisper in your ear of what's coming. This is foreshadowing, and it is the absolute engine of suspense. I like to think of foreshadowing as a trail of breadcrumbs that the writer leaves behind. Sometimes the clues are tiny and easy to miss. Other times they're much more obvious, but every clue has a purpose. It builds anticipation and makes the ending feel satisfying because all the pieces finally come together. And speaking of obvious, you really can't get more obvious than this one. In the very first lines of Romeo and Juliet, Shakespeare literally spoils his own play. He just comes right out and tells you they're going to die. So why? Why would he do that? Because it's not about the what anymore, it's about the how. He's just told us the destination, so now we're totally hooked on the tragic journey. We watch every scene with his growing sense of dread, knowing where it's all heading. It actually makes the ending more heartbreaking, not less. It is a total masterclass in creating dramatic tension. Okay, so now you've got the tools: symbolism, imagery, foreshadowing, you get them. But can you spot them in a real piece of writing? I've got a short paragraph that uses all three. See if you can find them before we go through the answers. I'm going to read this out. The setting sun cast a crimson glow over the small village, its red hue spilling across the cobblestone streets like spilled wine. At the edge of town, the old clock tower struck 7, its echo lingering in the air like a warning. The lone blackbird perched atop the tower took flight, its shadow briefly darkening the town square, a silent omen of the night to come. Phew, okay, all 3 devices are hiding in there. Ready to go hunting? First up, let's find the symbolism. Remember, we're looking for an object, something concrete that feels like it stands for something bigger, something unspoken. There it is, the lone blackbird. It's not just some random bird flying by, right? The author explicitly calls it a silent omen, which basically screams, this bird represents bad things to come. That's classic symbolism. All right, pretty good. Now, let's find the imagery. Where are the words that appeal to your senses? What can you see? What can you hear? Yep, you see it, the sight. That crimson glow that looks like spilled wine. You can picture that perfectly. And the sound, the clock striking 7 and that echo lingering, you can practically hear it. The author just dropped us right into the middle of that village square. And for the final piece of the puzzle, foreshadowing, where's the clue? Where's that little breadcrumb hinting at what's coming next? Got it. It's that one single word, warning. The author could have said the echo was fading or hanging in the air, but no, they chose warning, and that word instantly creates suspense. A warning about what? Now we have to know. That's foreshadowing at its best. So let's bring it all together. Symbolism adds deeper meaning. Imagery brings the world to life, making it feel real. And foreshadowing builds anticipation for what's to come. Each device has a different purpose, but together they make stories richer, more engaging, and much more memorable. And this is about much more than getting the right answers on a quiz. What you've really done is learn a new way to read. It's like putting on a new pair of glasses. Suddenly, you start noticing details, patterns, and meanings that were there all along. I like to think of literary devices as the hidden architecture of a story. They're the beams and the foundation that hold everything together, even though readers don't always notice them. But now you can. You can look beyond the surface, see how the story is built, and appreciate the author's craft in a whole new way. So here's my challenge to you. The next time you read a book, watch a movie, whatever it is, keep this stuff in mind, look for those hidden symbols, pay attention to the sensory details, hunt for those little hints of the future. Now that you know the secrets, what are you going to find? Thank you for watching. If you'd like more personalized feedback, writing support, and discussion sessions, they're available with me or with our selected tutors. All the details are here.